I mean, that's the key, right? If you do you feel like in those calls that you're really getting a sense of what the vision is that they're wanting to enroll in? Because they're not enrolling in your coaching, right? You're enrolling them into their own vision. So do you have a really clear sense that they actually have something that would be inspiring enough for them to work on? Well, good. And this is, this is one of the things I would tell Brian when he was doing calls for the CPBI. And I take this on myself as well when I'm doing enrollment conversations, is at the end of that conversation, I want to be able, or what I asked of Brian, I want Brian to be able to hang up the phone or end the Zoom with whoever he's talking to and call me or message me and brag to me about how amazing this person is and what they're up to in the world. And if he didn't get to that point with them where he's able to call me and tell me what that is, then they didn't go deep enough. Right. So I want to make sure that I don't leave that call until I figure out what it is about them that I would brag, not from a place of ego, but just like that I would want to call my friends and be like, guys, you have no idea. I just spoke to this woman, Monica. She's so inspiring. This is her story. And now she wants to build this. And I'm just like, and yeah, she's kind of afraid. She's not sure if she can do it, but like, that's not stopping her. And she's just effing amazing. Like, I wish everybody could meet Monica. Like, if I haven't gotten to that spot yet from an enrollment conversation, then I didn't go deep enough. And that gets you out of your head of like, I'm not sure if I'm good enough. And it gets you instead into the realm of being a detective and like trying to figure out what it is that make this person tick and what's their dream and like what's their story and like really getting to the core of that. And when you're so focused on learning that information about somebody, it leaves very little room for us to be in our head about whether or not we're good enough. But as long as you're having these conversations, like 3 to 5 calls a week, that's amazing. Take note of whether or not you have these takeaways from the conversations where you could brag to me or brag to yourself about this person. And if that's happening and you feel like you're still not getting yeses, then we can look at other things. But I feel like initially what happens with, I'd say pretty much everybody I've ever worked with, and definitely myself as well, is that when I'm not in that place of really being curious and being of service, or I'm worried about income, or I'm worried that this month is not going to be as much as last month, I'm not as genuinely curious about people, and they feel that. And then there's less of a connection. And then when they think about working with me, they don't want to work with somebody they don't feel a real connection to. They want to work with somebody they feel connected to. So my level of being able to not live in my head and instead just focus on connection is going to be directly related to how many people say yes to my offer.